I decided to flip my hair over for this one. Trying to change it up because even though these are pre-filmed, I'm sorry you guys, I'm sorry. Okay. Hey beautifuls. So today I am getting kind of real with you guys. I can't talk. I've been wanting to do this video for a while because I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about how anxiety can affect people in school and depression and all that kind of stuff, and I feel like from my first-hand experiences here that I can kind of put some insight out into the world for you guys that are also suffering and, you know, you feel helpless and all this kind of stuff, and you can have every support, you know, you need with therapy and this and that. But school's still really damn difficult, especially if you have hard-ass teachers that just honestly really don't give a shit that you have mental illness and don't really sympathize with you, and that really sucks, and I've been there, and it really sucks. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys a little like story time-ish, like how I'm trying to get through school with anxiety, and I am not on medication. Again, I choose not to because reasons, and I don't want to rely on it, but that's my own personal preference. So with that being said, let's just get started. First thing with anxiety. Anxiety, if you don't already know, sucks. So does depression, so does social anxiety. Those are the three things that I have, and it really sucks. But I have found ways that I can get schoolwork done, get homework done, you know, get things done that I have to do without freaking out. Now, my big thing with schoolwork, I have to say, I'm in college, and when I was younger, I had a really good school career. I really loved school. I was always on top of my homework. I was a top student in my class. I actually have a plaque up here from when I lived in Maine for outstanding academic achievement in 2005 when I was in 5th grade, and it all kind of fell apart in a matter of years. Elementary school, middle school, I had a good, you know, I had a good school career. I still love doing schoolwork and stuff like that. As soon as I moved back to Connecticut, I just did not give a fuck. I really just didn't care. A lot of it I feel like had to do with the whole different schools that I was at. Because when I first started off in Connecticut, you know, I was fine in school and stuff like that. Moved up to Maine, I was still fine. I was actually doing a lot better with school, and I actually really loved school. And then I moved back down here, and I was thrown into high school, and the teachers were very different than the ones I had in Maine. They were very everyone on the same page. They don't really care about, I'm not gonna say they don't care, but it seemed like they just didn't really have time to really cater to like each student's needs. I was in a pre-algebra class that the teacher like had a PhD and all this crap, and like we were all like kids that were not good with math, and a lot of us were, or a lot of kids were kind of like, I don't know, what you classify as delinquents, as like the kids that always get in trouble, if you get what I mean. And you know, they didn't really care, and it was, that class was the first class I had back down here in Connecticut in high school, freshman. It was so bad. It was so bad, and I feel like he just couldn't really connect with us because he was like, the teacher was just kind of like, you know, you gotta learn this, this, and this, and we have a test on Friday on this, and you gotta know this by then. And a lot of us just didn't do the homework or just didn't get it, and every time he'd explain it, it was just like really weird. So I feel like a lot of teachers that I had when I moved back down here were really different in their teaching techniques, and they just didn't really, like, they didn't really get it, and they didn't really get me. I have that problem in all my classes, but freshman year I think really put me in the map as like, high school, I don't care, and I got a lot of D's, and at the end I almost thought I was, you know, I didn't think I was not gonna pass freshman year, but I just was not doing well at all. It was like the first year of school in my life where I just didn't care because everything was going really bad for me personally in my life, and I didn't really have any support. Like, I didn't go to therapy or anything after my dad passed away, and it was just a lot of hanging out with the wrong people, that whole deal. I think I may do a story time video one day about my freshman year of high school and why I don't remember half of it. Yeah, so if you guys want to hear about that, comment below. It's not a good school year, and I was placed in an English class. I remember that was like the top, like almost honors English, like it was right underneath honors English, like it was the level 1, which was the highest. That English class was so hard. I was like, are you kidding me? How did you place me in this? Because I had done so well in my English classes in Maine that when I had my transcript from Lake Region Middle School to here, they were like, okay, we're gonna place you in these high classes. But their high classes were so much different, like equivalent. Like basically I had gotten A's in those English classes, but it was like a level 2, which is what everyone normally was a level 2. And then you're a level 3 if you had a little bit more difficulty, which I don't like that level system, I really don't. But I should have been in a level 2 class freshman year, and I was in a level 1, and it sucked, and I hated it so much. And oh gosh, just everything. It was not good. It was not a good time. And you know, science and history, that was the worst. That was the worst. The teacher he just didn't get it. But anyways, enough about my blabber. Basically, freshman year was the worst school year I've ever had in high school because the teachers didn't get me. I was placed in all these wrong classes, wrong levels, and I was having a really hard time and getting bad grades, and I feel like that's partly why, not just because I didn't care. Went from like being like a top student, like I get good grades all the time, I study, I do this, to like being like, F you, I don't care. And that really sucked. So sophomore year I really tried, and then sophomore year finally my advisor kind of got the gist. You should not have been placed in these classes because you know, this is not where you're learning, and like your mind, like this was not where you belonged. And I was like, thank you, you get this a year after I take them. Whatever. The rest of my school career was alright. Like I did try in a lot of my classes. I made honor roll once my senior year because they were all easy classes and I had like 4 A's, so it was alright. I just kind of lost that love I had for school, and I started to get really anxious about everything, and assignments and projects and group presentations, PowerPoints in front of the class. I hated that. Hated that so much. But you guys know how my anxiety kind of started in high school, that whole thing. College, it just has become a lot more difficult for me because I, at first, was in medical assisting. I was trying my ass off. I remember for medical terminology, I was getting D's on every single quiz and every single test, and I didn't get why because I was studying all the terms and I was doing it every night, and I still was not getting good grades. So after a while being in medical assisting, I finally understood, hey, this is not the field for me. I don't want to be in this. Like, I always wanted to work with kids, so we're not doing this. Switch my major. Little did I know that, since you guys know I hate speaking to people, like I don't like being on the phone, like I don't like talking in front of people. I have a hard time talking to people, but I'm getting better at it. Each one of my ECD classes, you have a observation you have to do. And as the levels of the classes go up, level 3 being the highest, level 4, 5, yeah, up there, you have a lot more work. And I'll have a lot more of a workload. I started not doing the observation projects in each one of these classes, and therefore my grades kind of failed because of it. I had C's and D's in all of my ECE classes. I did really good in the beginning. I had A's and B's because this is what I wanted to do, but then when it came to that big project that I had to do outside of the classroom and go to a center and do all this, I was not prepared for that. Like, I was so freaked out about it that I was like, I can't do this, I can't do it, and I just would not do it at all. Grades would suffer because of that. As a result of that, I will say for the record that I know that the professors now that are in my field, that are in my department, think that I'm a really shitty ass student because I never do those projects. And it's not because I don't want to do them, it's because I freaked out to do them. Like, I can't bring myself to go and do it. But now that has really kind of affected my school career and everything, and I've withdrawn from a lot of classes that I actually did that last fall with language and literacy, and now I'm retaking it. And actually the other night, she's the same professor as last year. She said that there was a student that didn't respond to her partner for peer reviews, blah blah blah. I knew that was about me. I knew it was about me, and it wasn't because I didn't want to respond. It was because I was freaked out and I was just kind of over it, and I had dropped the class at that point. I do feel like that was a stab at me, and I do feel like any bad situations that have happened in an ECE class now for the past year, all because of me. One of the professors knows I have anxiety, and I feel that I have been discriminated against a little bit for it because, you know, because still mental illness now is just looked at as like, oh, just get the over it. And like, no, you get the over it. Really? Like, you want my mind for a day? You would just cry. You would sit in a corner and cry. You wouldn't be able to handle yourself. Out of myself for getting up out of bed every morning and not thinking that life is over. So, you know, you can't even, like, just sit down and be quiet, because you have no idea. I hate people that are like, oh, get over it, it's not a big deal, there's so many worse things to worry about. It's like, you did not walk a mile in my shoes, so you sit down. Student teaching at the end was hell because of that, and wasn't even just because of that. Like, I was doing the work and I was having, you know, my mentor teachers were helping me, and in the end, like, I was still getting crap for it, and I was just like, are you serious right now? Like, oh my god. Like, it just became really stressful at the end, but I'm very happy I finished it and got it done. But I'm not proud of the grades I've gotten, so if my professors ever watch this, like, I apologize. I am not proud of the grades that I've gotten. It is not of my own accord to get these horrible, horrible C's and D's in every single freaking class. It's mainly because I can't bring myself to do it, and I'm trying to bring myself to do it because I want a career and I want to be a teacher and I want this for myself, and it's just very difficult. So I figured before even starting this video, I need to just give you guys a background of like where I'm coming from with school, because I feel like that I see schoolwork now is like anxiety, anxious, like, I just see it, I don't see it as something fun and enjoyable to do. Like, the first few weeks of class now, I'll be like, yay, I'm doing my homework every week, I got it on time, like, I'm doing this, yay. And then once it comes down to doing projects, observations, presentations, papers, this, that, I freak out so bad and procrastinate. And when you procrastinate with anxiety, it just does not get better. So, number one, first piece of advice, don't procrastinate. Don't do it. Just please don't do it. Coming from someone that procrastinates literally everything, I'm really trying not to do it anymore. Still a work in progress, but just don't do it, because it's not going to get you anywhere, and you're just going to end up more freaked out and more anxious and more on the verge of having a panic attack, because that's literally my life. I usually get to the point where I have a panic attack and then I finally do it, or I get to like the night before it's due, or the night that it's due, and I just rush through it, and it's not my best work because I rushed it and procrastinated because I suck. So my biggest advice, just don't procrastinate. Don't do what I do, okay? Do right by me. Like, don't do that. Just don't do that. Some advice is with syllabuses. Syllabuses. If you are in college or high school, usually they will give you a syllabus on the first day of class and be like, hey, this is everything we're going to learn this year. This is when everything is due, and if you don't turn it in, then, you know, hell with you. When I see a syllabus, I freak out because it's so much, and even though there's dates in each week or whatever, however they schedule it out for you, look at that and I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to die. That's the first thing that pops into my head, but that's not necessarily true. Try to block off the rest of the weeks. If you go by a syllabus, if you just go by it all the time, you look at it all the time, to lessen the overwhelmingness of it, just put a piece of paper over the rest of the weeks and just move it down each week, tape it, whatever, post-it note it, doesn't even matter. Like, then that way you only see that week, do that for that week, and that's that. That's what I was doing for a while, but now I'm just kind of like, whatever, I'll just try to ignore the bottom part and not freak out. Next piece of advice, write down every single due date for every single project, paper, whatever the hell it is, on your calendar ahead of time. If you have an agenda, a planner, or a big calendar, or whatever that you keep track of, college, high school, middle school, whatever, just write it down, because then you have a good idea of when things are due and when you should start doing those projects, observations, whatever the case may be. That is actually what I'm going to do after this video, to my big calendar and my planner. Where's my planner? Back here, because I needed a new strategy, and I feel like that's going to be a really good strategy. Professor actually said, you know, to do that, so I'm going to do that because I don't want to fail and I want good grades and I want to get my degree. So advice is to get a whiteboard. If you have severe anxiety like me, looking at a paper sometimes is just gonna freak you the hell out. So what I like to do is I actually bought this whiteboard back here, as you guys can see right there. I have it separated right now because I have like a wish list of things I want to buy for fall. But on the other side, I usually write down the day that it is, like Wednesday, and then underneath I will put like things I have to do, like work out, do laundry, clean up my room, take out the trash, and then underneath I will put the names of my classes, like ECE 101, and I'll write down the homework that I have to do. That way, if you see it, you have to do it. And then when you cross it off, it just gives you like a sense of accomplishment. I've actually been doing that for quite a while now, and that whiteboard has gotten me through some hell in student teaching. So a whiteboard and dry erase markers is amazing. I just have to say that, like, it really does make me feel a little more accomplished when I just cross something off and I'm like, yes, I'm done with it, yeah. Like, I just feel a lot better about myself with that. So that I think is my, like, the biggest piece of advice I can give you guys, because it's really helped me a lot just to see what I have to do, and it's only for that day. You don't have to look at the syllabus or look at it the night before and be like, okay, what do I have to do this week? Okay, write it down on the board, and then once you do it, you just cross it off, and then you're done. Let's do my next little piece of advice. So if you do not go by a whiteboard, you still use a planner, my best advice when you are done with your homework is to use like a red pen, because a red, you know, red is pretty, you know, like, every teacher corrects with a red pen. You probably corrected with a red pen in high school and stuff like that. So just crossing it off is like even more of a sense of like, I'm done with that. I got it over with. I don't have to worry about it anymore. It is the best feeling ever. I keep a red pen with me in my backpack. I have one next to my bed. So whenever I'm done with homework, I just cross it right off and I don't have to worry about it. If I don't do it, I have to put a scribble. So I know that I got to carry it on to the next day, because I suck and I didn't finish it when I wanted to finish it. Next piece of advice, I have my binder here. I've actually been using these for like the past 4 semesters, past year now, and I actually really like these binders a lot. These are the, I don't know exactly what they're called, the 5-star Mead. They have like these detachable, like you just pull it and it comes out. Each one by one kind of binder. I really love these ones a lot. I'm obsessed, actually. I love using these to organize. Now, organizing is like, I need to organize everything I need, because it gives me a sense of control over like my classes and everything. I usually have like my plan of study. Like, I actually have a scholarship list on here because I gotta apply for some scholarships soon. Hey. Protectors, page protectors, or like a I can't explain it. This is one of the ones that comes with it, and I'll just put the syllabus in there. As you guys can see, this is the syllabus for my infant and toddler class, so I'll usually just highlight like the main homework. Like, I know there's readings, but I highlight the main homework for every week, and also when the class is online, when it's on campus, just so I have an idea of when everything is. And I also cross off each week once the week is done, once the class is done for the week, once I'm done with the stuff for the week. So then that way, again, it gives you a sense of accomplishment, and I'm just really, I really kind of like to emphasize that. And so then I have loose leaf paper, but since I have a notebook I bought in Maine at Five Below, I've been just using this mainly for papers. So I'll have like the little divider section, and then next is for language and literacy, which, girl, language and literacy 231, girl, and then that one, and then the last one is my creativity class, which I have to say, shout out to my professor for the creativity class, because I actually really enjoy the way that she's going to be doing this with us, because I had taken this class about a year ago. Little story time. I took this class about a year or 2 ago, okay? And they had a guy teaching it, and he did not know how to teach adults. He knew how to teach children, didn't know how to teach adults. And I honestly felt like I was not getting the experience in that class that I wanted. So I withdrew, and later found out from a couple of my friends that he never handed them back papers, and that, what else? He just gave everyone a C in the class. Like, that's terrible. That is terrible. If you're a professor, if you're going to be an adjunct, or if you're going to be a teacher, don't do that. Like, just don't do that. That was terrible. Just how I've been honestly organizing. That's how I've been organizing with binders for as long as I can remember. In college, especially, high school was always a little different for me, because I always usually just had each divider for each class, even though they were like, use a different binder for our class. Did you really think I used a different binder for their class? No. But if they really do emphasize it, you know, and you're in high school, please do use a different binder for their class, because I've had teachers that are like, you need to use a separate binder for our class. And I'm like, all right, I'll get a binder. Okay, all right, okay, calm down, I got it. It's just usually what I do to organize all my stuff, and I feel like this is just the best way for me to see my syllabus, to cross things off, no homework. Homework is due, all that kind of fun stuff. And I do have like fun stickers. I have this reflective Halloween sticker on this one. I have another one on the other one. But I'm just going to be using this one this year. And I also have my little notebook here with 3 different subjects for my infant and toddler, my language and literacy, and my creativity. They're all each separated. I actually really enjoy this binder. I wish I bought more at Five Below, because I like it a lot. So I just took some notes the first week of class. But yeah, so that is pretty much how I organize. Thing I want to share with you guys is organizing calendar. And like I just said before, you know, putting due dates and stuff on there is great, but try to color code it. I love color coding. I'm obsessed with highlighters. I'm obsessed with markers. I just love it so much. So here's a little insight to, I don't think there's really anything bad on here, no. My calendar for the month of September, I have in orange boxes when my classes are, writing down if they're online, if they're on campus. 6 years and 9 months for me and David. Going to David's every weekend, the big E. Like, I just have things color coded in here so I know when I have class, when things are going on, due dates, all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to end up putting like a highlighter box around things that are due so that I know, so that stands out more to me. And for the inside of my planner, I have actually been separating this big box just because in the top I like to organize like writing down things I have to do that I can later put on my whiteboard and then cross it off and not have to worry about it. I like to put like I gotta film, I gotta edit and upload, I gotta do laundry, I gotta do this, whatever, and then on the bottom I put all my homeworks, and that way it's a little more organized. And then this class is online, this one's on campus, this one's on campus, that sort of thing. I just like doing it this way, especially if I have to go somewhere. I could write down appointments and stuff up here and then just keep the school stuff down there, just so it's a little bit more organized for me, because as if I haven't organized the hell out of my life enough, I found more ways to organize. Honestly, nothing wrong with organizing, and I do have to give props to my stepdad in heaven, because he was always a neat freak and always very organized, and now I feel like I'm a neat freak and I'm very organized because I need things a certain way, and I kind of freak out when they're not in a certain way. I don't know. My mom thinks sometimes I have OCD, but I don't think I do. Maybe sometimes. I don't know. I don't want to say that because I know there's people out there that have it and it sucks, and I've watched like some that old MTV True Life story, and that made me feel so bad for the girl that had to come in and out of her bathroom and turn the light on all the time, and I was like, oh my god, I feel so bad, like I want to just do it for you. Like, it's not fun. So I'm not, you know, not putting any hate towards that or anything. So those are all the ways that I organize for school. I hope they help you guys a lot if you are in middle school, high school, college. Some of these probably won't work for high school kids or middle school kids, but either way, this is just how I've been doing it my entire life, especially like now in college. I'm really organized. Like, whiteout is my best friend, highlighters, my planner, and my notebook. Like, I'm obsessed. But yeah, so I love you guys so much. Hope you have an awesome day. Subscribe if you want to see more of me. Let's get to 2,000. Let's get to 2,000. We are so freaking close, you guys. We are so close to 2,000 subscribers. It's crazy. It's so freaking crazy. So if you are weird and you like makeup, join the beauty crew. Join the weird beauty crew, because we're all weird here, as it says on my channel, because we are all weird here, and no one is normal, because there's no such thing as normal. Well, if you guys have any other suggestions of organizing for school and college, if you have anxiety or just in general, please let me know down below, because they would be really helpful. I have 3 classes. They are all a lot of work, and that's reasons I'm going to be stockpiling videos. So wish me luck. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next